Okay, I want to touch on the Fanni Willis testimony. I don't know if you saw it, but I have a clip of it at the end of this video just so you can check it out for yourself. And I want to bring it to your attention because there's a couple things the media really isn't saying, but it's a part of this whole thing that's going on, and I don't know why they really haven't brought up too much. Maybe you heard it, maybe you didn't. But she wasn't even really supposed to testify yesterday, but she took it upon herself because she's arrogant, and you see that in the video. She was arrogant, condescending, very unprofessional. And in my humble opinion, I think she needs to be disqualified. And in worst case, let's say they don't disqualify her. She should no longer represent the state of Georgia as a DA, or Fulton County, whatever she is, the DA of. She is a disgrace. And when you watch it, she was just totally unprofessional. And I've honestly never seen anything like that on the stand. And if you've been following me on all these different social media platforms, you know I used to be law enforcement, and I've seen hundreds and hundreds of people testify, and I've never seen anyone so combative as Fanni Willis was. One of the most hostile witnesses I've ever seen. You're gonna see for yourself, but I just wanted to make it clear that in the way she's answering these questions shows that she doesn't think she should be held to the standard as everyone else. And it's funny because I remember when she was holding her press conference, and of course she used the standard words, "No one is above the law." And that includes you, Fanni. But what Fanni Willis believes she has that you, I, and almost everyone else doesn't have is, one, the backing of the criminals that are the Democrat Party. Two, she has female black liberal privilege, because I'm telling you right now, no one else gets away with what she was doing on the stand. A judge would stop her immediately, but of course that judge was probably scared to be called a racist, because of course as she's testifying, she starts to bring race into this whole thing. It was really odd, and you have to watch the whole testimony for yourself. I think it's worth the watch because it was a spectacle. To have the cojones, and that's balls in Spanish if you don't know that, to go in there unannounced as she did. She went in there unannounced. They didn't even expect her. And then she went in there and basically started calling the person cross-examining her, lawyer cross-examining her, a liar. I've never seen that. So it was just an embarrassment for anyone that was ever be a prosecutor and then be put on the stand to be held accountable for what they've done to act in this manner. To think someone as arrogant as she is also holds the power over so many people, it's kind of sad. And you've seen it over and over again from her. When you saw the lady who worked for her as she testified, and she just basically treated that woman horribly and eventually fired her for reporting a whistleblower. Fanni Willis is as corrupt as they come. And I did another video, and of course TikTok took it down, and it showed how she was voted in, and it wasn't the right way. If you want to know from my opinion, if you could see the ballots and how they were filled in, that's all I'll say, because some of these platforms don't want that, as you know, and they're going to protect her because she will be protected. And even though the mainstream media has come down on her a little bit, if this was a Republican or a conservative or anybody else, they would have been getting the business from the news. But anyway, I'm going to show you this video now. Check it out for yourself. See the arrogance, the disdain, and the sheer fact she thinks she is the victim and she should not be held liable for anything she's done is quite stunning. Anyway, check it out.
Let's just talk about what you did in preparation for today. Did you meet with Mr. Wade at all? Once the motion was filed, did you meet with Mr. Wade and talk to him about the motion that I filed to disqualify you?
On January, this first January motion?
Yes.
I don't know if you could say talked about. I probably had some choice words about some of the things that you said that were dishonest within this motion. So I don't know that it was a conversation. As you know, Mr. Wade is a Southern gentleman. Me, not so much.
Okay, but my question was, did you have a conversation with him?
I didn't have a substantive conversation.
You did not?
I read this motion, skimmed it more so, and I've probably said some choice things to him about some of the lies they were told.
Okay.
And then printed in the media because, you know, we used to be in a day and time where you had 60 Minutes and people did stories and they verified information, and you had this great reporting. But it seems today that a lawyer writes a lie, and then it's printed for all of the world to see.
Well, I just want to make sure that you answer the question I asked, though. So my question was,
Been asked and
Overruled, Mr. Abadi.
I told you what happened. I read the motion. I am sure I told him what my opinion of it is.
okay,
And past that, we had no substantive conversation.
you did not. Okay.
Is there something you didn't understand?
No, I just wanted to make sure that
Okay.
you did not have a meeting with him in the conference room to discuss the motion.
Next question,
No.
Ms. Merchant.
So in the conference room of my office, within this week, you produced some financial document. That financial document was given to me, something, and I'm not even sure who was giving it to him by me or Mr. Abadi gave it to me. And I think he showed me a document in our conference room. But as far as a substantive conversation, I don't believe I've had any conversation with him that is substantive related to this.
Okay.
I have had conversations with him since you filed the motion, but they wouldn't be substantive to this. He sent me very nice sermons that have been done. And so we've had conversations about, did you listen to that sermon? You know, things of that nature. And I would say they were in relationship to this because I think he did it to be kind.
Okay. Let's start back in 2019.
Yep.
So you and Mr. Wade met in October 2019 at a conference?
That is correct.
Okay.
And I think in one of your motions you tried to implicate I slept with him at that conference, which I find to be extremely offensive. I stayed at that conference. Mr. Wade was my teacher. I did not meet him when he taught the class. I was standing outside talking to Lisa Reeves, who is a judge. Me and her were just having a conversation. Mr. Wade walks up. I think they hug each other. They have some brief conversation. She introduces us.
Your Honor, I'm going to object. We kind of thought that when we asked the question, you didn't answer the question, not a speech, so I object to the speech.
I agree,
I believe I'm
Judge.
able to explain my answers.
I believe she's able to explain her answers.
And that's,
Ms. Merchant, that's okay. I can handle it. Ms. Willis, I'll ask you just listen to the answer, or excuse me, the question, and keep the answers confined to the question as best you can. I think you'll have more than enough ample opportunity on when the state is
Well,
able
it's
to ask
highly offensive when
follow-ups.
someone lies on you, and it's highly offensive when they try to
Judge.
implicate that you slept with somebody the first day you met with them, and I take exception to it.
All right, well, Ms. Willis, you'll have the opportunity to explain all of that when it's the state's turn to ask more open-ended questions.
Yeah.
Ms. Merchant.
thank you, Judge. So again, my question was, you all met at that conference though, right?
We did the
Okay.
meeting. As I stated, he taught the class. I did not actually meet him when he taught the class. I walked out of the class, and I'm not sure if it was that exact class or we had went to lunch, but we were standing in the vestibule, like outside of the class. Me and Judge Reeves were having a conversation. She had worked at a law firm I worked at back in 1996.
We're getting way afar. I mean, I don't mind her explaining her answers, but I literally just asked if they met at that conference.
Explaining how she met Mr. Wade, which was exactly the question asked by Ms. Merchant. These answers are more than appropriate.
Ms. Merchant, if you want more concise answers, perhaps you could lead the witness.
I will. Thank you, Judge. Isn't it true that you met Mr. Wade October 2019 at a judges
We
conference?
haven't gotten to the point where Ms. Willis should be treated hostile in the city.
I think we
And
have.
I'm very
Mr.
much
Abadi.
want to be here, so I'm not a hostile witness. I very much want to be
Not so
here.
much that you're hostile, Ms. Willis, it'd be an adverse witness. Your interests are opposed to Ms. Merchant's.
Thank you.
Merchant's interests are contrary to democracy, Your Honor, not to mine.
All right, let's
Judge, I
proceed.
would just ask that
We
we.
can keep things moving. Ms.
Thank
Merchant,
you.
next question,
Yeah.
please.
Okay, so we've confirmed when you met. After that, isn't it true?
No, I need to explain this, and I think I get to explain my answers. When I met him, Judge Reeves introduced us. He handed me his business card. I'm unsure if I handed him my business card, but we exchanged information. He said, if you ever need any help, give me a call. And he walked to the parking lot.
So after that, you started dating shortly thereafter, correct?
The lie. That's one of your lies.
Do you know Robin Yurdy?
I know her as Robin Bryant. I knew her. So Robin did not go to my college. She went to the college of, I went to Howard University. She went to Morgan State. I met her through some people I knew. In college, we hung out a bit. Not much because she was in Baltimore and I was in Washington, D.C. But we hung out a bit. After college, I lost contact with her. I probably didn't see Robin again until maybe 7 or 8 years ago, a chance meeting here in Atlanta.